This is Jordan here with Elite BSC. So today I want to talk about selling tag work and how to boost revenue with your existing customers. So this is actually like a little mini version of a longer presentation that I did recently. So what is tag work? So when I talk about tag work in this particular video, what I'm talking about is services that we would offer to our clients that are outside of the routine cleaning. So we have our base janitorial contract where we do the daily, weekly tasks or whatever, and then there are extra services that are outside of that. And also what I mean when I talk about tag work is that these, as a general rule, are not part of the monthly contract in terms of like the price is not built in monthly. So this is extra stuff that you're going to sell to the customer. It's typically sold by a manager who has the relationship with the client. And it's going to include things like carpet cleaning, strip and wax, window washing, pressure washing, disinfecting work, that sort of thing. So real quick, let me give you just a quick history of this at our own company. About 7 or 8 years ago, we did an off-site strategy meeting where we were talking about goals and where we wanted to be in the next 5 or 10 years, looking at BHAGs and mission, vision, values, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that we noticed is, we really didn't know that it was not a great thing, but is that our tag work or our extra bill work as a percent of revenue was like 2%. Like it was significantly low. And so at that particular meeting, we set some goals, some target goals for where we wanted tag work to be. And in terms of a percent of revenue, discussed how we would sell and manage that work and that sort of thing. And over time, we have probably multiplied that number as a percent of revenue by 3 to 4 times on average. And because that's such high margin work, it's been significantly profitable for us over the last few years. And it's been a big win for the company and a big win for the managers who are selling that work and getting paid commission. So real quick, some of the benefits of tag work are it's usually higher profit margins. So whereas cleaning contracts are in that, depending on the size of the account, 20 to 40%, tag work is generally 40 to 50, 60%. In terms of margin, you're able to meet customer needs more. So the more things you can do for a customer, the more valuable you're typically going to be, which then makes you harder to get rid of. And also, tag work performed well. That helps increase the overall maintenance of the building. It's going to make the building look better, and in turn, it's going to make the building feel cleaner when floors and windows and carpets, etc., are being maintained well. So I want to offer a few steps here that we're going to follow to increase tag work and hopefully have more impact at your organization with this and with your customer base. So we're going to identify tag work to offer, set a goal, nail down pricing, identify who's going to sell it, have a commission structure, and have a plan for carrying it out. So let's walk through these really quickly. So first, to identify the tag work that you want to offer. So you've got to figure out what it is that you're going to sell. Like what ad services are you going to offer? And you can start by looking at what you already can do or that you do for existing customers. This is the first place. That's going to be the obvious ones that you're going to offer. You can also look at, hey, here's my existing team. Here's what they are talented in. And here are some potential other services that we could offer that fits well. You also need to look at what fits within your current operational model. So there are going to be some services that they're going to be so random, so one-off, that it's going to be hard to incorporate them into your operational model in terms of getting things done, managing the work, ensuring the quality of it, billing, expertise, all that kind of stuff. So it needs to be things that fit well within your current service model. All right, so once you've identified the type of tag work that you want to do, the next thing you need to do is set a goal. Like where do you want this thing to be? How much tag work do you want to sell? So the first thing that you really need to do even before you do that is to get your financials in order. So you need to be able to make sure you're tracking tag work. You're able to see, in terms of it being a cost center, you're able to see its revenue and its costs associated with it, along with the margin on it. This is going to allow you to be able to separate that, which then allows you to manage it. I would set a goal as a percent of revenue to try to hit. So if you're at 3%, set a goal for 5 or 6%. If you're at 5, shoot for 7. And then set goals for individual managers. We're going to talk in just a minute about who sells this stuff, but you have a company goal, and then you can break that down into your team that's out performing and selling the work, and incentivize based on that, and that's going to show some results when you have those goals out there. Okay, the next one is nail down pricing. So you need to have, if you're going to unleash a team of people, and by a team of people, I just mean your managers out in the field who are relating with the customer. If you want them to be able to sell ad services, sell tag work, then you need to have some sort of standardized pricing. It doesn't mean you have to know exactly how to price every little thing. But it would be helpful if there was a document that laid out, here's how to price various types of work. So a lot of this stuff should be able to be priced on the spot or, within a day or so. And describing that process and how that pricing works is going to be helpful for your managers to be able to feel confident in doing that, in providing those prices to prospects. And then have an approval process. Maybe you allow your managers to sell tag work up to $1,000 or $2,000 a month, but anything above that, it needs to have the approval of the owner or the operations manager or something of that sort. Okay, the next one is identify who's going to sell. So we've already beat around the bush here a little bit. It is my opinion that whoever is interfacing with the customer on a regular basis is the person who is in the best position to sell this tag work. So for us, that's our area managers, sometimes branch managers, depending on who the client is. So identify who are the people that are going to sell, and make sure they're able to be in relationship with the customer, but also have some relation to the actual project crew that's performing the work. Okay, next to last one is nail down commission structure. So you want your managers who are selling this work to be incentivized to do it. It's going to drive the kind of behavior that you're looking for. So incentivize the right results. Don't just incentivize, based on a sheer revenue number or a number of jobs sold or something of that sort. But make sure it's a win-win commission structure scenario. So at our company, because we're able to track the financials pretty well, for us, this is they get paid a percent of the profit. So it's 15% of the profit of the tag work is the commission that gets paid out to the manager who sold the job. And finally, have a plan. So when and how this commission is going to be paid, what's it going to look like to track costs and revenue, and how are you going to do it? Who verifies that the work is done and that the customer is to be billed? Who approves the billing amount? And who oversees the project group? Make sure you've got an operational system in place so that you can execute on these goals that you're wanting to achieve. I can assure you, if you put some energy and time, and some of you may already be doing this, into tag work, you're really going to be able to see a significant improvement to your bottom line as a result of this work.